Hi everyone, welcome to day 17 of Vlogmas here on Making Things with String. My name is Kate, my pronouns are she, her, and welcome to another Vlogmas episode. So today was a pretty cool day. I did get my cross-stitch live stream in, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But first, we'll get the video started off with the sort of unboxing of my daily skein from the Hue Loco Oxide Fade Advent Calendar. So today is day 17. Today's colorway is called Azurite. So it's this beautiful, bright, sort of royal blue, and it's really pretty. It's sort of looking a little brighter here than it's showing up in the more natural light, but hopefully the footage that you saw from this morning will be a little more accurate. This is actually a little more accurate way back here. It's really pretty, vibrant color, and I like it a lot. So that's Azurite for day 17, beautiful. Really shifting into the blues. I wonder if we're going to shift away from blue, and if so, where we will go. I guess tomorrow will give us a bit of a hint of that, probably in that skein. All right, so next up, let's talk about the stitching that I have accomplished. Since yesterday, I finished Modern Folk Embroideries Reaching Skyward, the 2023 Stitch Along. So I'll give you a little peek at it here. Oh, let's do it over here. Here we go. It is fully, well, it's not fully finished. I still have to frame it, but the stitching is complete. And I finished this on stream today on Twitch. So what I think I'm going to do is post that entire Twitch stream as another video on my YouTube channel. So that was about a 2 hours length of streaming that you could watch if you wanted to. But I will probably take a few clips from the stream and put them at the end of the video here, just so you can see me putting in the last couple stitches and that sort of thing. But really pleased to have this whole piece finished. I'm really looking forward to getting it framed. Yeah, just really proud that I stitched this in a year. It's the biggest cross-stitch piece that I've ever done. And I really love it. It's a beautiful piece. So I've shown it many times over the past year. I'm sure you'll see it again, especially once I frame it. And maybe even after that, once it's on my wall in a background in some videos or something like that. So, Reaching Skyward by Modern Folk Embroidery is complete. Oh, and I will remind you that the fabric this is stitched on is a 20 count Ada by Roxy Floss Co. And the floss is also by Roxy Floss Co. The colorways were Brass Tacks and The Whiz. I also mentioned in my stream today that I did buy the alternate trees pattern for this piece because I wanted to stitch one of the alternate trees on mine. So there are 3 other trees that I have patterns for, that central medallion, the big central medallion. And I think what I'm going to try and do is stitch one of those every year so that I can have sort of 3 little companion pieces to go with this bigger piece. And I'll eventually stitch all 4 of those tree medallions. So look forward to that. Not necessarily an imminent start in the new year, but in 2024 at some point I will aim to start another one of those trees. Maybe after or close to when I go to Stitch North with my mom in April, because I think I will need to get some more of the Wiz, and it would be great if I could get some more of the same fabric too, so that they really kind of look the same. Or it might look cool if they were on a bit of a different fabric too. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, you don't want it to be like too matchy. Or maybe you do. I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, so those are my plans. Sort of bittersweet that it's done, but I'm excited. I have another finish from today as well. So yesterday, as you saw, I was working a little bit on Coulter the Fox. And I worked a little bit on that as well today after my stream, and I was able to finish it. So here's what Coulter looks like. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting that to show up true. That's not too bad. There's Coulter. I'll put some other footage here as well, some close-up footage of Coulter. So yes, Coulter is all done. This is 2 squares off my WhipGo board. So the only thing I have left to do for WhipGo for 2023 is the very last tree lot tree. So I think tree lot B is the one that I haven't done. So I'll have to do that up sometime before the end of December. But Coulter is all done, and he's so handsome, and I love him. This is a pattern by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This was a Jingle Ball exclusive pattern from 2022, so it should now be available. I know that it was available at Jingle Ball at the beginning of December, but you can probably get it from Frosted Pumpkin. I actually haven't checked, but Coulter, as well as his little partner in crime, Clementine, should be available now from Frosted Pumpkin. They're no longer exclusive since it's been more than a year since the Jingle Ball when they were exclusive. So pretty excited about that. Looking like WhipGo is going to be a success for the year, which is kind of surprising to me because I really fell off. Doing WhipGo for a while in the middle of the year. So, all right, one last update before I roll a little bit of footage from my stream. I finished yesterday the second ornament from the Lola Crow Creepy Christmas Ornament Stitch Along. And today I decided to start the third one. So I think this one is called the Creepy Christmas Tree. I'll try and grab a picture of that and plop it in over here. And so that's what this little ornament is going to look like. And I just got one strand of thread into this little Christmas tree, and here is what it's looking like now. So it doesn't look like a whole lot at the moment. I'll give you some overhead footage of that as well. But yeah, that's going to turn into a creepy Christmas tree that is being decorated with skulls by a murder of crows. So super cute. All right, so I think that's going to be about it for me for today. Thanks for sticking around, and again, hopefully you can check out some of those clips at the end of this video, and if you want to watch the whole stream, I will upload that whole stream as a separate sort of extra video on the channel. So yeah, you can take a look at that. I don't know if that'll be up tonight, just because I don't know if I'll have time to let a video that size load onto YouTube, but we'll get it going tomorrow or the day after, whenever I can. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. Do you guys want to do the slowest countdown ever? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4, I think there's 4 stitches left. Let me double check. 1, 2. Okay, so we're gonna do a super slow countdown. 4. 3. 2. Oh my god. Second leg of the 2 and 1. Oh my god. It's my last stitch. Okay. Then we tie it off in the back. Woo! Party time! Pew. Okay, let me get the snippers. Ta-da! All done! We reached the sky! This is where I started. This was the first stitch. This was the last stitch, right there. Little baby stitch all grown up. Let's go over here. Yay! Thank you for the congrats, Boo Boo Kitty. Always happy to have people lurking. All done, look, yay! It's finite. And yes, welcome, welcome. All done. All right. So let's do some chatting about it. That AmbiQuest, did I say thank you to AmbiQuest for following? I can't remember. A couple people followed. Anyways, okay. Oh, a back sneak peek. Do you want to do the back first? Jill really likes seeing the back. Let's do some back stuff. So here's the back. From a distance, I think it looks pretty good. Let's go all the way down. Right. So let me bring you close up a little bit. I'll show you some stuff that I think some people might not do, but I decided to do. So, like right here, you can see how sometimes my threads, I drag them, I drag them along the back a little bit, like here and here and here and over here. That's like frowned upon, especially in like open space like this, because there's a chance that you'd be able to see it through the fabric on the front. So a lot of people don't like that, but it's annoying to not have those because then you have to like end your thread. Oh, here's a little thread I need to cut off. Okay, here's an example of ones where I didn't drag it. Here and here. It's just annoying because you have to like, I try not to drag, but sometimes I just want to stop. Exactly. So yeah, you would just like start it in the little spot and stop it and like tuck all the threads right into the little thing, which is fine when it's a big piece. Like even this is a little bit bigger, but I just find like ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? I just want to keep stitching. So sometimes I drag it around the back, sometimes I don't. Like, it just depends on what kind of a mood I'm in. Okay, so let me tell you some things about this pattern that I don't always say. And if this is your first time watching me talk about this piece, then you'll never have heard me say it. So this pattern was interesting because I talked earlier about how the tree medallion in the center, the pattern that I bought came with a version of this, but then you could also buy an alternate trees. Yeah, exactly. We were gonna get back. Mind your own business. So there's actually 4 different trees. You have to get a separate pattern, like purchase an additional pattern to get the extra trees. But when I saw that one and I saw this tree, I was like, oh, that's my favorite tree, so I had to get that. But now I've got the 4 other ones and I do plan on stitching those, but I chose this one to be in my center medallion. But the pattern had choices in it for almost every aspect of this piece. There was 2 different versions in the pattern. So as an example, these little deer, they could have been swans. And there was different trees up here, and these were different as well. And the pattern in all of the pillars was different, and the pattern in the border was different. So there was 2 versions of everything, and you could choose whichever one you wanted every time you came to a new thing. So that's really cool because there's a lot of people who stitched this piece, but they all kind of look different. Creative within the choices they made. Exactly. Everyone's is going to be a little bit different. I did a couple things that were different even beyond the choices that were put in the pattern. So here you can see I've got some initials. So I decided to make this sort of a family tree piece. So in the pattern, these are not letters that you're meant to replace with your own family's initials. They're like other little motifs. I think they're like this. So they would be other little snowflakes. So on this side, it's my dad's parents, Harley and Mona Thompson, and over here it's my mom's parents, Geneva and Raymond Babineau. When I decided to do this at the beginning of the year, I was telling you, this is gonna be sad, it's a little sad, warning, that you can like remember things that were happening at the time when you were stitching it. And I remember when I was up here working at the top, like getting started on this piece, my mom's mom, my mémère grandmother, passed away, and that's like almost a year ago at the end of January. And so I was like just getting started on this piece, and that's when I decided like it's got to be a family tree, and I decided to put those initials in there too. So I've got my grandparents up here, and then I've got my mom and my dad down here. So dad and mom, Brian and Andrea. And I also put my initials here in this tree. Yeah, thank you. His choices. Yeah. So he, like, the guy who designed this really designed like 2 entirely different patterns and 4 different trees. That's crazy. Yeah, and I added Root's name here, obviously, as you can see. It's like the main reason I picked the entire pattern from the beginning is because it reminded me of my friend Root, right? But yeah, I've got my initials here in the very middle. So this was not charted to have initials here, but I figured if I had my whole family initials there, I should put mine as well, and that was the spot that made the most sense to me. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all I have to say about this piece. Those are all the special things. There's definitely some little mistakes in this that I decided to leave in. I can try and find some of those and show you. All right, the first one that I know of is right here. Ooh, I'm really bad at like orienting this the way it needs to be. Okay. Okay, so this little band right here, there's a mistake in it. So you can see this is correct. Let's get a little closer. this little blank diagonal space is correct. And maybe you can see that this one looks a little thicker than this one. It's because I messed up here. So this is a mistake. But I just like kept stitching this and like ignored what was over here, and I just left it. There's some mistakes. There's a mistake in the tree section. Can you see how this is messed up? This should be the same as this, but it's not. No, I know you would never have noticed. That's why I left it in. I feel like there's another mistake up here somewhere in the tree. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll come back. This little leaf should be a 1 stitch pointier. Okay. So there's these little mistakes, but I actually like, well, first of all, when you notice it and you've been stitching forever, it's like, I'm not going back to take that out. But I also like kind of like them. My mom calls them Waldos. It's like, where's Waldo, right? So they're like uniquenesses about my stitching. And if you could really notice it and it looked like, you know, if the border was totally messed up or something, I would fix that. The last one is unforgivable. I would fix that, but you can't notice them unless I point them out. I thought that this one might be noticeable because it kind of messes up the centering of the band, but I don't think it's noticeable. Yeah, exactly. Oh, another thing, I don't know if I want to fix this or not. I don't think I do, but I felt like this initial maybe could have been brought down a little bit, like it doesn't look totally centered. But I also don't like, my eye's not like drawn to it when I'm looking at it, so yeah. So now I'm trying to decide how I want to get this framed, if I want to try and frame it myself, or if I want to bring it somewhere to get it framed, but that'll be a decision for later. Oh, good. Cool. We're slightly higher. Yeah, so you thought that it like balanced it out? But that's the thing, is like everything else is perfectly symmetrical. So, but it doesn't bother me. This bottom part was so fun to stitch. Something that was kind of annoying at first is there's a lot of counting up here because there's like kind of big spaces in between a lot of these bits. So that was like a little bit harder to do than down here where it's like big and chonky and everything is like close together. There we go. Reaching skyward. It's almost 2024. That was another thing that I was like, I don't know how I feel about this yearly stitch along, because I remember in July I was like, oh my god, like half of the year has gone by. Like it just made me feel like the year flew by faster than it does normally, because I knew exactly what percentage of the way through the year we were every month, because that's how far along I was in this piece, right? I'm like, ew, 55%, what? Okay, well, I think I'm gonna head out soon. My estimate was pretty accurate. It's been like 2 hours and 10 minutes-ish since I started streaming. I thought it was gonna take me about 2 hours to finish, so that's kind of cool.